All right, it's raining, so I think that should give away what we're trying to do. For some reason, every time we want to go to a test and tune at the track, especially the one here in Orlando Speed World, and it's summertime, it's always raining. So we're about 20 minutes from the track, right, Sam? So far, the chance of rain went up from 10% to 60% in the last like 15-20 minutes. And yeah, we're gonna see how it goes. There's a couple things that we changed up on the car recently. With the Fuel Tech software, I added a burnout mode, and I started playing with a couple of different settings inside of it. Evan's Performance makes really nice Fuel Tech courses, and I've been trying to familiarize myself more with the software, and it's really, really simple to use. And the fact that there's programs like that, like Evan's, that you can go in and learn little tips and tricks nice and easy, it makes it really, really great. So hopefully we'll be able to go get some hits tonight. Brett's on his way as well with Jim, and he's got the green Mustang to do some passes tonight. Hopefully it goes well for both of us and it doesn't end up just raining out. But yeah, also on update on the car, we've always had a speed sensor problem. The front and the rear would never have a linear path, and the rear would always cut in and out. We got a replacement sensor for the rear, and we have the front configured a little bit different versus GPS mile per hour, because it was off a little bit before. So now we should have perfect layover of speed data for the front and the rear, and if that works out, then we can actually start playing with traction control in the next couple weeks, or the next couple outings. Right now it's on a time-based function to play with the ignition timing a little bit when you leave, and then it tapers off after a couple seconds, and that's basically one type of drag race feature for launching, and we're hopefully going to try to do something with active traction control if those sensors work out. It's just a matter of dialing everything in. So hopefully it stops raining, we can make it to the track and do a couple hits, and if not, we'll figure out something to do. All right, so we got teched in, slicks on, and suits on. I'm about to go up, and it's starting to drizzle a hair, so I'm going to try to make it up in the staging lanes real quick. Mike's right there. I think he just hit a hit in the Mustang, and hopefully we get at least one lick. So it looks like the rain's let off and they're cleaning up. So far we have the two Mustangs up there. Brett is right over there. He's first to go. So Jim's doing his mopping for the night, and Brett will be up in just a sec.
There is no fire! Come back here!
It's smoking a little.
I want to stop. Right here, Bobby.
You see it? Hey, sorry for the wait. Thanks. 9.8. Wow. Okay. Well, that was a fun ride. It went 9.8 at 143, and that was, I think, still on the same boost as it was in Charlotte. Similar eighth mile time, or similar eighth mile per hour. It went 113 in Charlotte. It went at 114 this time around. It had a couple extra cuts from the strain gauge, so I got to look in the software and look at why it was commanding more cut, so we can adjust that. But on the big end, I started smelling a little bit of electrical, and on the shutdown, it completely filled the car with smoke. You guys probably saw that. And we burnt up some wiring. So this right here was part of my loom that went from inside the cabin to passenger side headlights, ran across, and then it went to the driver's side headlight. But originally I had it tied off in the front, and it worked its way under the intercooler and got smashed, grounded on the weight plate, and then it started leading that ground all the way back up. And I noticed that I was losing voltage on the shutdown. So I pulled off quickly. That plus the smell, I wanted to check it. And it burned the wire all the way up to in here, even into the side where it goes into the fender well. And I'm gonna trace it back and see exactly how much it did, because it was smoking for a little bit. As soon as I saw that, I pulled off on the shutdown or on the return road and pulled the bumper off, was able to cut that wire that was grounded, and it stopped the grounding from happening. And then I basically isolated for the time being, but it was still exposed around here, and I just pulled it to the pits real quick. Drove it here, no problem. Probably shouldn't have, but now I'm gonna look at some of the wiring and see exactly where it affected. Right off the bat, looks like it touched another wire right here, which wasn't grounded, but it was affected by it, and this was for my horn. So nothing extremely important right now. The other wires look to be pretty good. They're heat shrunk, and then these are exposed, but they have thick shielding on them. Nothing really big. I should have a full loom for this. It's kind of ghetto on my part, but I'll get that fixed sometime in the next week. So for this wire right here, since it is just the horn, we can go ahead and eliminate that. We don't need that for tonight. And if I can find all the rest of the bad wiring, then I'll just go ahead and cut that out for the evening. So partially good news, partially bad news. I found 90% of the affected wiring to be within the headlights, the taillights, horn, and the brake lights. So all things I can easily wire up and fix. But unfortunately, something that's gonna make me wanna not race for the rest of the night, I have some of other important wiring running through here, and in the area that you can see at least, this big important wire, I could trace it back, I think it's to the relay board. This has a little bit of melted shielding on it, and if it's visible right there, if it were only that section, maybe I would feel fine putting some electrical tape on it for the night, but since it runs underneath this section, I can't see any of that, and then it goes in there and under the dash, it'd be a little bit more than I'd like to investigate for the rest of the night. And I do need to redo this section right here. There's a lot of accessory wiring that I never properly did, and some things that I kind of have to fix. So we got all the affected stuff. Basically the cans are ripped out, and then these two go to the rear, has no power supplied, since it's just stuff that gets delivered to the back. And yeah, we're feeling pretty good about taking most of the crappy stuff out, and that I did, and just, you know, gonna call it for the night. Brett's still racing. And I think we're gonna go see him. If I'm not mistaken, he just went up, so we'll go check him out for the rest of the night. My beautiful wife, as always, supporting. And yeah, take the fender off and all. These damn Hondas. Almost missed. Brett's back up for another pass. Pretty good. Straight Mustang things, man. I gotta get out these damn Hondas. No more Hondas. We gotta get a Mustang. It's back over there. So we're back from the track. Everything went pretty well. Like you guys saw, we won a 9.8 at 143, I think it was. And all things considered, the car did really well considering it's on low boost. Only on 30 pounds, up in fourth. Considering we can go up to 40, we still have quite a bit of room to play with. And the short track wasn't as good as we wanted to. There's also a couple things fluctuating in the feedback for the strain gauge. You guys can see fourth gear cut out twice in the video. And if we look over the logs, you can see that there's 2 peaks where ignition is cut from it. Not only that, but when I was in the lower gears, my hand was riding on the strain gauge shifter, which is going to cause some feedback in the shifter as well, and have the ECU see peaks in the voltage and whatnot. So that's definitely not what we want to do, and it's some stuff that we just have to think to keep in forward track days or whatever. But yeah, definitely a lot of good data. The wheel speed sensors did exactly what we wanted. The burnout modes did exactly what we wanted, and we're just happy that we got to test those things. And next time we go out, we should be a lot quicker for what we're planning to do, and the car should react a lot better. Next thing on the car, obviously, is not only going over the wiring here under the fender side, but there's also a lot of looming that I have to do. Right now, it's kind of just thrown together, a couple wires that are loomed, a couple that aren't, and then I just need to make a nice front harness piece right there, and we'll be good to go. While we wait on some sheathing and some heat shrink and other stuff to come in for this car, we actually got something from our friends over at Jackspania. So my wife's car is this K-Series K24 swapped Integra, and if you want to show them the valve cover we're working with, this just has a standard K24 non-coated valve cover, and there were some stuff that we needed to change with it, either get it painted or maybe powder coated and match it with the gold engine mounts. It's kind of a nice theme having yellow or gold with the purple of the color, and I think she planned on getting a couple other accessories on there. So we plan on doing some power things in the future. That would mean also getting some bungs welded on, but we actually have the perfect solution from that, like I said, from our friends over at Jackspania. And if you want to pull that out, we can actually start taking a look at it. So there were a couple options, but we went with the yellow because obviously that's a nice color scheme for it. And here, I think you have to take that box on the bottom first. That'll just have some accessory pieces as well as the baffle plate that you remove and place onto the valve cover. And look at this piece. It is absolutely beautiful. You like it?
Oh, I love it. It's so shiny.
Yeah, it's freshly machined. Everything's nice and clean. The ground points are very, very clean. The stock breather port that goes on this side is threaded, so you don't have to do anything like covering or retapping it. And then a really cool part of it, which I really like, is these 2 threaded portions where you can put bungs, or you can cap them off if you're not doing anything that you need a catch can or bungs for the time being. You don't have to weld anything on and then get a whole bunch of smeg inside of the valve cover. This comes perfectly threaded, so you can just put an ORB fitting and then do it to a -10 or a -12 if you run an adapter, and then just have a nice solution for your valve cover. So here, let's put it by the paint real quick. This will get resprayed eventually, but right off the bat, that's a nice color combo.
It's a perfect match.
I think it's gonna look really good, the nice yellow and the nice purple. And right now it's kind of cloudy outside, so the sun's not hitting it like it should, but it's gonna look really nice color combination. We're not gonna install this step-by-step on video. We're actually gonna do a quick like Instagram short for this. I'm teaching her how to wrench on the car a little bit, so we're gonna be doing that in a nice, easy to digest formula for you guys to watch. You can either see it on YouTube Shorts or on Instagram. And yeah, we'll be working on that soon. So if you want to see the final product on that, check our Instagram out at Slow Integra, and you can see more day-to-day updates, not only on the race car, but the street car too. And that pretty much sums up the video, guys. We're done for the day. Thanks for watching. And if you aren't already subscribed, hit the subscribe and notification bell. We'll see you next time, guys. Bye.